You'll see me have to reboot my phone once in a while because the screen goes black. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Peter Cameron. I'm one of your 3 selectmen here in Dayton. And again, we have another public service announcement for our town. And I'm here today with Mark Prochnick, the director of our libraries here in Dayton. Welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
We've had a lot of interest in the library lately because of the new one coming, as well as who you are and what you're all about. So I was wondering if, to start off with, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to be the director of the library.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so like you said, I'm Mark. That's my name. And so when I graduated high school, I was a history major. I went to Stonehill College.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do exactly.
Yeah.
I just knew I really liked history.
Yeah.
And I know that I didn't necessarily like writing the papers, but I like doing the research for the papers.
Sure.
So the library was a place I always liked to be. And then in my last semester of my last year at Stonehill, an email went out. They're looking for help in the campus archives.
Yep.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to see what this is all about.
Sure.
And so I started interning there, and I really liked it. And I talked to the archivist there, and she said, if you want to pursue something in this, you got to get your master's in library science. I said, okay. So I applied to Simmons in Boston for their library master's program.
Yeah.
I got in, and I went there. And I got my library degree. And while I was working towards my library degree, I interned at the New Bedford Whaling Museum.
Okay.
And then when I got my degree, they hired me there. And I worked there for 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I saw this position open up.
Yeah.
And I actually have some Dayton roots. My dad's side of the family is from Dayton. Most of them still live in Dayton. I said, I'm going to take a shot at this.
Yeah.
And so I applied, and the trustees hired me, and here I am.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, New Bedford's loss is our gain.
Oh, well, thank you.
I've heard nothing but great things about you, and I think you do an awesome job as the director. The residents seem very happy and happy with the direction of the library. Even more ecstatic that we're getting a new library, which I understand you want to make an announcement today.
I do.
If you want to get right into that.
Sure. I'm happy to say that the grand opening for the new library at 207 Main Street is going to be on Saturday, September 20th.
September 20th.
September 20th.
You
heard it here first.
That's awesome. Long time in coming.
Yes.
What was the start date of this? Was it before you came in?
Way before my time. Before my time.
Yeah.
A lot of the legwork was done really when I started.
Sure.
I came in and basically just started laying it out.
Yeah.
But all the grant work, the fundraising, the vote getting, all that stuff was done before me, and I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for all that.
Sure.
Because that was a lot of groundwork to be laid. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and
this is so cool.
We're almost there.
Oh yeah,
we're almost
absolutely.
there. Yeah.
You are excited. I can tell the employees are excited, but I think the residents are even more excited.
Yeah.
How is the fact that we have come out of COVID, which was a unique situation, but you're not in the best scenario with the 2 libraries that we have.
Right. Yeah.
So has readership been down because of this, or have we maintained?
Yeah, so given our current situation, we have 2 locations that aren't, well actually, so I joke with Tom Ferry about this. He says that the town of Dayton has more libraries per capita than any town in Massachusetts. And he's right. I challenge anybody to find another town that has more libraries per capita.
Yeah.
So we have the children's section.
Yep.
That's in the lower level of town hall. We have the trailer, or the modular unit, that has all the circulation services. We have the library at 395 Main Street that has pretty much 95% of all the books.
Yep.
And we have the new library at 207.
This is funny.
And we even run programs out of Old Town Hall as well sometimes.
Yeah.
So we're really using 5 different locations.
Right.
But to get back to your question, I find that the library right now has sort of become a place where people go to pick up holds.
Okay.
And that's really that's not the intended goal. It should be a library. People can walk in, they can sit, they can read, they can browse. They can come attend all the programs we have.
Sure.
But right now, the unit doesn't provide that. So I'm really hopeful, and I know this is going to be the case, that the new building is going to just shift that perception back from just the place we get holds back into an actual library for the town.
Almost like a bookstore.
Well, I mean,
an old-fashioned bookstore where you can sit on a chair and read. Wow.
well, in a way, that's kind of what we have at the trailer because
Yeah.
I mean, you show up knowing you have a book on hold.
Yeah.
You're notified it comes in. I'm here to pick up this book. It's handed to you. There you go.
Yep.
People do come in who maybe aren't as familiar with the situation, and they're looking to browse.
Yep.
But it's. I mean, I know you've been in the unit.
Yeah.
There's not really
No.
much to browse there.
Right.
Other people come in. Oh, I see online that you have this book here. Well, the odds are probably that it's not at the trailer.
Yep.
It's very likely at 395 Main Street.
Right.
And depending on staffing, we may not be able to get that for you today.
Sure.
So I mean, there are barriers there.
Yep.
But with the new building,
That
all those
won't exist.
all those barriers are going to drop,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a kind of library that really everyone is used
Sure.
to. An actual physical library,
Right.
all staff, all collections under one roof.
Yep.
And you can come in and it'll be a one-stop for everyone.
Right.
Yep.
Nice. Can you tell us a little bit about the library, the new library?
Yeah.
As far as people have seen the layout probably with your walkabout that you did, but
well, a lot's changed since then, though.
a lot has changed.
A lot's changed in the last month, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the design goes, but what are some of the things that are inside that
Sure.
are different than what people who saw this library
Yep.
from when it was a church to,
Right.
to today?
Yep, sure. So the very first thing when you walk in, you're going to walk in, the circulation is going to be on your right. But a new feature you're going to see, and this is something we hadn't had before, well, we have, but not for a while, is on the left, you're going to see the teen room. And that was built in with a storefront by Somerset Glass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that was just put in last week, and it's really like a wall was built. It's like a room was built within a room.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a place for teens.
Yeah.
The young adult section is going
Yeah.
to be, because right now it's a difficult situation because we have two locations that house books that are accessible to the public. There's the trailer, and then there's the children's section. There's really no place to put the young adult
Yeah.
books.
Right.
They're not really in the trailer. But they're not really children's books either.
Right.
Right now we have some young adult books in the children's section.
Yep.
But that's not really.
Right.
That's not really where they should go.
Right. It's not what it was designed for.
Right. So the teen room in the new library is going to house all the young adult books.
That's great.
And that's going to be the section where teens can go. There's going to be cafe-style tables there. There's going to be phone charge. There's going to be this little futuristic-looking phone charger people can charge their devices with. I think it's going to be a place teens are going to want to.
That's great.
Going
Yeah.
to want to be. And there's glazing on the wall, so you can see in, you can see out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a pretty cool place.
Sure.
One that the library patrons are going to be happy with.
Yep.
And then when you walk past that, you're going to see the stacks of all the books.
Okay.
Fiction and nonfiction,
Yep.
large print. And if you go past that, there's going to be stairs and a ramp. That's going to take you to the children's section.
Nice.
I know in the old Carnegie building, the children's section you could only get to by going down some stairs.
Right.
This children's section, there will be stairs, sure, but there's a ramp to get up there. And that's going to have the children's
Right.
books. Kind of like what we're doing now with the current children's section, except all the children's books.
Yep.
Yeah, not just a handful.
Right.
And then there's also going to be a program room, which we're going to use for all of our children's activities,
Yep.
our speakers, any sort of arts and crafts, anything. That's going to be a room that we're going to use. But it's also a room that the community can use as well.
Yep.
It'll be a bookable space. Meetings can be held there. Events can be held there. It's going to be a place that I think
Yeah.
the community is really going to
Right.
want to use.
Yes.
And there's also a reading room, the historic room with the fireplace. And
Oh, that sounds cool.
at some point in time, I don't know exactly when, I don't know why, but that fireplace was painted. It was painted white with some black on it. We sandblasted it, and it exposed the original brick, and that original brick looks amazing.
Nice.
And I work with Pat Gales,
Yeah.
the chair of the Historic Commission.
Right.
We picked out a period-style chandelier for that space. So it's going to be it's sort of like an historic room.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're going to have a smart board in there.
Yep.
And a table that with phone chargers on it. So it's an historic space, but it's also going to be a space that is accommodating
Right.
to the needs of a 21st century
Well
reading
thought
room.
out.
Yeah.
That's
It's a nice
awesome.
juxtaposition. One wall is the smart board, the other wall is the fireplace.
Yeah.
The original fireplace. So,
Sure.
yeah.
I'm assuming it's not going to work.
No, we're not going to be doing
Yeah.
that. No.
Just threw that out
It's
there.
just for show, but it looks really nice.
I think the public is very excited. I think it's a long time
I'm excited,
coming. I know you are, and from what we've heard from the public, that phone calls that do come in through the selectman's office, when's it going to open up? It's a beautiful building. I can't wait to see the inside. And we've had public tours, but it was always in the infancy stage. So I think people are going to be very excited.
Right. I mean, just in the last couple weeks, I mean, the highway department has done so much work.
They're awesome.
So much work on the, well, they've done a lot of work on the interior all throughout.
Right.
But it's really noticeable in the last few weeks because that's when the shelving's really started to go up.
Sure.
And it's that now it's really starting to look like a library.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. That's exciting.
A lot of credit to everybody involved.
Okay.
Especially the highway department.
Great. Well, I have some questions that we'll eventually get back into the new library because of some of the questions that I have. But you probably have this, and being the director that you are, what are your plans for the next 5 years? Obviously, this is one plan that you have achieved now, but where do you see the library 5 years from now?
Yep, sure.
Everything changes constantly. Technology is nowhere near what it was 2 years ago.
Right.
So you have charging stations that might be obsolete 3 years from now.
Possible.
But what is your overall goal for 5 years?
Sure. So it's sort of like a staged process.
Yeah.
Well, one, I want to get in there and I want to
Yeah.
open it. Two, I want to shift the perception of what it's been for so long. I mean, 5 years is a long time.
Yeah.
It may not sound like a long time, but in terms of perception, 5 years can be a long time. I want to shift the perception away from the library being a place where you just pick up holds to actually being a library again.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that the community and all the residents know that
Yeah.
we have an actual library again.
Right.
And then when that happens, I want to shift again. I want it to be like a community center.
Yeah.
A place people want to be at, people want to go at.
Right.
Not just for books or to sit and read, but I want to hold a whole array of programs
Sure.
that can draw all kinds of different people in with all kinds of different varying interests. So I'm really looking forward to working out that stage process.
Sure.
And then 5 years,
Who knows?
yeah, I mean, we're taking off like a rocket.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. It sounds like it.
Yep.
Well, my next question is leading up to community engagement. And how does the library engage with the community? It sounds like you have plans in the diversity of these programs that you're going to have. So you've talked about the library, you talked about the meeting room, and having events. What are some of these events that you might have?
Sure.
You said a speaker, for example.
Yep, that's right. It's been difficult to book speakers because the only venue I could really book them with over the last, or during my time here, was really Old Town Hall.
Right.
And that can be very difficult to book
Sure.
on most nights.
Yeah.
But I have worked out sort of a scheduling plan
Yep.
with the Selectmen's office, Leanne in the Selectmen office, where every fourth Thursday I had Old Town Hall for a library program, and I've taken advantage of that.
Nice.
And I've tried to book. I have booked similar programs.
Yep.
Only because that program got received very favorably. But
Yep.
I've tried to sort of book different programs of different themes, different book talks, different speakers talking about different specialties, just to sort of see where the interest is for residents. And I sort of have a sense of what they like. I have a sense of what didn't really draw, and I really use that.
Sure.
I'm using that as they don't have to tell me they liked it. I can tell by the attendance and the reaction.
If it works.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I can know those are sort of the programs that people want to see.
Sure.
But also different ages. I mean, Lori Van Hook, our youth services librarian, does a great job with the children's programs, even in this space. I mean, she does a lot for children of all ages. She has her tot time, her story time, even has a Dungeons and Dragons for teens.
Nice.
And so we're really looking at programs for all ages, not just book talks and lectures or book groups, but programs that go from age 0 all the way up through anybody looking to attend anything of interest.
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
the beautiful part about public library is all programs are free.
Yep.
We don't charge for any programs.
Well, that was one of the questions I had for you.
Yep. We don't charge for any.
It's all going to be open to
Open
the
to the
public.
correct.
Open to anybody from any town that.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Correct.
That's great.
Yep. That's exactly right. You hear about a program in Dighton, and maybe you live in a neighboring town.
Come on over.
Come on over to Dighton.
Sure.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
nice.
Yep.
That you were able to do that. The technology. We talked about changing so quickly. Obviously, the checkout system is different from stamping the book.
Correct.
Now you have cards that you scan.
Yep. Barcodes and all that.
Barcodes
Yep.
and books, and the library card is not the traditional library card that people used to remember.
Not the old card catalog. Yeah.
Which is cool. Do you? I foresee technology changing, and what you're coming in with a virgin library with the greatest technology that we could get at this time. Is there something in the works for computers that people can use?
We are going to have computers.
Okay.
Yep. We have computers set up. We're going to have them set up in 2 different. Well, other than staff computers.
Yeah.
We'll have computers set up. The circulation desk in the main hall is going to be a table in between the circ desk and the library stacks.
Okay.
There's a table there. And there's going to be a place where you can charge phones, computers. There will be computers there as well. So that's a good place to sit and work.
Sure.
Do some, print, do whatever.
Yep.
There'll be computers there. There will also be computers in the reading room. You're also welcome to bring your own because you can charge it up right there. We won't necessarily have computers in the teen room because teens likely have some sort of device to bring with them.
Right.
But we have all the accommodations to charge those devices there. We're also going to have software and working with Jonathan Gale, our ADA coordinator, for hearing and visually impaired patrons.
Yep.
So there will be computers with that software loaded up for that. So if someone of that wants to use a computer, there won't be any barrier for them.
How many computers will you have? Do you know offhand yet? For the library?
Let's see. We have 4 right now. 5. Yes. Yep.
Great. Yep. So for people who don't have computers at home,
we will have
certainly
computers
come to the library and
Correct.
do their research. And
Correct.
Awesome. I remember being in high school and going to the local library and looking things up on an encyclopedia.
Right.
But it's nice now that technology has brought us to the forefront of being able to find anything anywhere in the world.
It's brought us right to our fingertips, really. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I know a lot of reaction to what we hear here at Town Hall from I don't get enough information. I don't know what's going on at Town Hall because I don't have a computer. This is another reason why, or another reason that we can help people. Hey, come to the library and look at the town website. Look at what the library is doing and going. What other community events are going on in the area?
Yeah, we're also going to have a bulletin board there.
Yeah.
We can post
well, I was
anything.
just going to ask you, it's something as simple as a bulletin board.
Yeah, we're going to have that.
We have the Cow Chip Festival, we have strawberry festivals, and you'll use it as a way of advertising these other events that go on.
I mean, we post flyers in the children's section and in the unit, but the foot traffic just isn't isn't what it would be at an actual library.
Sure. Yeah. Which you talk about foot traffic. I can only imagine that it's going to be huge numbers compared to what we have experienced
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the circulation like today? How many people do you get on the library in a typical week?
Oh,
is it difficult to predict? Not predict, but to
say. I should know the answer to this.
That's okay.
Because I just filled out the annual report that details all this.
Yeah.
But it's so many numbers, they all blend together.
That's all right.
But circulation actually was up a little bit because we're allowed to count audiobooks, ebooks, all that.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my focus, I do a lot of purchasing of audiobooks and ebooks.
Yeah.
We also have streaming services that we provide as part of our online digital platforms.
Yeah.
And so that all gets counted in the stats.
Yep.
And so a lot of people, they're into streaming, they're into audiobooks, they're into ebooks. I had a conversation with someone once, a while back. She said she loves reading. I said, great, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And she said, I read on my way to work. I said, oh, what, did you take the train or something? It's like, oh no, I read in my car. And I said, how is that even possible?
Right.
And she counted, the audiobook as reading. And I said,
oh yeah.
At the time, I said, that doesn't count. But now that I work in a public library and I count those, I say, that absolutely counts.
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
I used to listen
counts.
to books all the time when I had a 2-hour drive.
As a public librarian,
everything counts.
It counts, yeah. Back when I was working at the museum nonprofit, I would have said that's not reading. Now I have a completely different opinion.
Yeah, when it counts,
I have a completely different opinion about it.
That's cute. How do you determine what is brought into the library? One, do you take donations?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything from movies to books that
Yep, yep.
I'm assuming in decent shape.
Yep.
But how do you determine what is brought into the library as far as new goes?
Yep.
In what gives something a shelf life, no pun intended,
Yep, yep.
that then it comes off the roll?
Yep, sure. So there's a few different ways we do orders. One, we have automatic ordering. Let's say, for example, James Patterson's new book. Like he's an automatic order. He comes out with a book, automatic order, gets shipped to us on the shelf. Same thing with Danielle Steele.
Yeah.
You know, all the big names. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Especially with the series too. If it's something a series we have and it goes out, we'll make sure that series continues to come in. We'll also look at new releases, and we'll order those as well, just to make sure. There are other new books we get recommendations. Let's say a patron comes in.
Okay.
I'm interested. Do you have this book? And we look it up. And let's say every single library in sales has it, and it's always and all of them are checked out.
Yeah.
Well, that's a book we should probably get.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Let's say we look it up and no library in sales has it. But here's a patron looking for it. We could get an interlibrary loan. That's fine. Or maybe there are other people. Maybe this one patron isn't an outlier.
Yeah.
And there are other people who would be interested in looking at that
Sure.
book. So that's worth ordering. That's worth ordering. We also go through weeding is a thing that we do. We haven't been able to do it much in the new locations because the numbers will be skewed a little bit. And what I mean by that is we go through and we check out and see how many times has this book been checked out. When was the last time it was checked out? What's the frequency? Was it like a really hot item at one point, but then interest just completely dropped off?
Sure.
We look at that. The reason those numbers are skewed is because most of our collection isn't really browsable. So if we look at the books that are in the trailer, most of those are probably checked out more frequently than the ones that are at 395 Main Street that no one can get to. Now, is that because those are the most pop books everybody wants, or is that because it's a book they find when they're browsing?
Yep.
It's tough to say.
Right.
So the weeding numbers are going to be skewed, but that is a way to go through and to use your pun, the shelf life.
Yeah.
To look at that. But once we're all in one building and the collection's all browsable again, the numbers will even out, and we can actually do real weeding by trusting the numbers again.
Absolutely. How many? Is this possible to say how many books will be in that library?
All of them.
Cool answer.
Yes.
Okay. You have how many people on your staff?
Yep. So we had there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 full timers and 1 part timer.
And is anything done to develop them to move them up the chain other than seniority? Do they get personal development time? How does that work?
Yep. So I have a small budget for professional development.
Yeah.
But lots of times, they're all really good with this. They all keep their eyes out for any sort of online course or conference. And the ones that they can do online or ones that say are free to attend, they'll inquire about.
Yeah.
If it's something that they would like to learn about. I'm not going to make them go to something they don't find important.
Sure.
And I want them to tell me what's important to them,
Right.
so they can go
Yep.
and attend, or watch if it's just like a like a video or Zoom sort of thing.
Sure.
And so they are very good at that. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say no. I mean, I'm
No,
not gonna,
definitely not.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about budget, and what are the biggest challenges facing you right now? Budget. I know we meet every year. We talk about the budget. It's the library state mandated. You had talked about.
Yes.
And but what do you find to be your biggest challenges when it comes to the budget?
Yep. Okay. So the biggest challenges, as far as the budget goes, is it okay? So it's a prioritization. Most of the budget goes to staff and book acquisitions, and that makes sense. I mean, staff obviously, and all that, and book acquisitions because I have to spend a certain percentage on that as mandated by the state.
Yeah.
But I also have to spend a certain amount based on the past 3 years of appropriation as per the state. And I want to make sure I do that because if I do that, I'm eligible to apply for state aid
Yep.
with a yearly grant. So
So your budget is supplemented from state aid.
correct.
Okay.
Correct. So any sort of thing that I cut back on, I can't cut back too much.
Right.
I can't drop too low.
Yep.
But I also want to ask. I mean, I feel like I don't want to ask for the moon.
Right.
And like overshoot
Yep.
something that I know I may not need.
Yep.
Because I want to, I
Yeah.
consider myself a team player.
Right. Absolutely.
So
You're part of a working town.
right,
That
right,
has
exactly,
financial obligations.
Exactly. So there's a balance I want to strike, but there are also things other than books and staff that I want to pay
Yeah.
for, like programs.
Yeah.
Speakers don't come cheap, but I want to present a good
Right.
slate of speakers.
Yeah.
So I need to plan out. Okay, who do I have coming up? Who do I want? I know that person's expensive. I know this person's expensive. But I know they're both going to really draw in people. I know
Yeah.
these are sorts of people want to see.
Yeah.
How can I offset that? Do I pay with the state aid?
Yeah.
Do I look for something? I don't want to say cheap because that's not the right word. But maybe a less expensive
Yeah.
program at some point. Stagger them out.
Yeah.
So I look at things that way. I don't just look at the week. I look at the entire year and say, okay,
Sure.
if I do this in October,
Yep.
how will that affect June?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be in June and say, I'm in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just be so dependent on the state aid. It's great to have, but there are going to be times
Yeah.
when I really need it.
Yep.
And wish that I was a little more, I guess, what's the word?
Not-
budgetarily conscious with it.
Yeah. I was gonna say frugal or
frugal. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I know what you
right,
mean.
Right. So although I have multiple funding sources, they're not infinite.
Right.
And I want to make sure that I'm appropriating the right amount and the right percentage from each.
Yep.
For what it needs to be appropriated for to get us to
Sure.
where we want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do fundraising?
We do. Yep. The friend.
I know you did fundraising up until
Yep.
to build this unit.
Yep. That's correct. But most of that was before my time.
Right.
So I was fortunate enough to come along after pretty much all the fundraising was done. But we have a Friends of the Dighton Public Library who are very, very, very helpful in fundraising.
Yeah.
They do a lot for the library. And I can't say enough about them. So they help with fundraising. I also apply for grants because grants are a great way to offset programs.
Yeah.
Like that programs are something that a granting agency is going to look at to
Sure.
fund. That they may not fund travel reimbursement. They may not fund, buying
Lights
certain
and-
lights. They won't fund utilities.
Right.
But the programs is something you can get a grantor to fund.
Right.
So that's something.
That's awesome.
That's something
Yeah.
to look at.
Good.
To look at as well.
Yeah.
And so any sort of supplemental funding that comes in
Yep.
is a bonus.
Right.
In more ways than one.
I know we've had people who privately asked if they could donate funds towards the new library.
Yep.
And I know the building committee and the commission that you have all
Yeah.
taken these people and
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And they will be recognized in
Great.
some way.
Yep.
In the new building.
that is
in
so
some
cool.
form. Yep.
We talked about the sale program.
Yes.
And can you just briefly tell us what that
Sure,
means
sure.
and what does it stand for? And
I wish I could tell you what it stands for.
Okay.
But it says say ILS.
Right.
It's the consortium of the local libraries in southeastern Massachusetts.
Okay.
Not the Cape, but southeastern Mass, and pretty much any neighboring library, public library you go to is part of that sales consortium. And they'll provide PC support. They'll provide interlibrary support. So what I mean is, if someone comes in, a patron to Dighton,
Yeah.
looking for a specific book, and it's not a book we have in our collection, but maybe say 10 other sales libraries have it, I can put it on hold for them, and it comes into us through transit.
Yeah.
And we get a transit delivery every day. You can return books to us that go to a different sales library. And you can check out books from a different sales library that come to us from transit. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like really like a community, really.
Sure.
And so,
Is there a charge to belong to this?
yeah, I do have to pay an annual assessment and membership.
that
fee,
comes
yes.
out of the budget.
That comes
but
out of the
there's
budget.
no charge to the patron.
No charge to the patron.
Awesome.
Yep.
And what happens with the books that you take in from other libraries? Do they become your inventory, or they go back to
No,
that
so
library?
when they come in through transit, I check them in, and they get put on hold for that patron. And then when the patron shows up, I check them out.
Yep.
And then once they return them, They get checked in,
Okay.
and they go right back in transit to be shelved to the
Shelved.
other
Okay.
to the other library.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, a little off track here, but you mentioned books coming from other libraries, and do you have magazines?
We do.
And
We have
I just asked you
periodicals, yep.
briefly, do you take donations? What else do you have? Movies?
Well, yep.
Books, audiobooks?
DVDs. Yep. So DVDs, books. We have video games.
Oh.
Yep. That's right. We have magazines. So
Yeah.
the thing with our magazines right now is most of our children's magazines are in a children's section.
Yeah.
But the non-children's magazines are in the unit, and they're not really displayed in a way that will make it known that we have magazines.
Okay.
But I've rectified that. I have some solutions in the new library where you're going to walk in and you're going to see the magazines front and center. And so I hope they will get a lot more use out of it. Because
Yeah.
looking at the circulation statistics, the periodicals, our magazine circulation
Yep.
has steadily gone down since we've been in the current situation.
Okay.
I'm hoping that now that they're prominently featured and you can actually see them right when you walk in,
Right.
because I'm going to have them, I'm going to have little shelves affixed to the end caps of the shelves, so you're going to see them right away.
Yeah, face out.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
hoping they're going to get a lot more exposure, and and in turn, a lot more use
Sure.
when they get checked out.
Yep.
Because we have a wide variety, handyman, cooking magazines, women's magazines. We have a lot
Yeah.
we have a really good variety of magazines
Yep.
for Consumer Reports for a lot of different people.
Yep.
And I'm just hoping that they're going to get the exposure.
I think they will.
I hope so.
They get checked out just like a regular
Just
book.
like a regular book, and they can
And-
also go in transit as well. Yep.
Right. And newspapers as well?
We don't have any of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Some libraries do.
Some libraries
do.
I know, well, it doesn't matter if you don't have them, but they're a dying breed, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
So
We do have online subscriptions to newspapers that
Okay.
you can
So
access through our website.
If I want to go read the Wall Street Journal, maybe not that one. I don't know if you have that one.
yeah.
I could go to the library and
and you
pull
can
it-
log
pull-
in with your library card number,
Yeah.
and it would take you right in there. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's how a database is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
The my screen went blank here
That's
for
okay.
a second. The week-long celebration that you're going to have for grand opening. I know
Yes.
it's still in the infancy stage. You don't know exactly what you're going to do, but
But we're going to have one.
you're going to have one. One of the things that I guess was exciting to me and to some people when they heard it was a walk from the old library
Yeah.
to the new library.
Yep.
Is that still going to happen?
That's going to happen. It's going to be a tractor right now. A Rouge
Right,
is donating a
Rouge's
tractor. Yep.
tractor.
So no one will
Yep.
be walking, which is riding on the tractor.
Sure.
And the reason that came up is because Ron O'Connor, our trustee chair for the library and co-chair of the building committee, he said that when the Carnegie Building first opened, they had the opening, then everybody walked down to Smith Memorial Hall,
Right,
at
which
207
I
Main
think is
Street,
so cool.
for the reception.
Yeah.
So now we're doing it the reverse.
Yep.
We're going from 395 Main Street down to 207 Main Street
Yep.
to sort of usher in the new library. Now
Yeah.
the tractor can only hold, I think, 25 people, and so that's going to be not
Yeah.
everybody attending is
Right. It's going to get a tractor, right?
right. We're going to ask everyone go to 207 Main Street
Yep.
for the ceremony, and we'll just ride down, and the people will ride down from
Yep.
95. We're actually going to bring a handful of books. It'll be symbolic of completing the move. So that's really what that's going to be all
That's
about.
awesome
Yeah.
that you
And
guys
then when
thought of that.
when the tractor arrives, that's when the ceremony starts.
Sure.
Yeah. And we got a good slate of speakers. They're not giving hour-long speeches.
No.
Maybe 5 minutes apiece.
Yeah.
I'm going to be emceeing, acknowledging people. Ron O'Connor,
Yeah.
as trustee chair, is going to
Sure.
say some words. Ken Pacheco, as
Yeah,
co-chair of the
he's
building
done a
committee,
great
is
job,
going to
too.
say some words.
Yeah.
And Zach LaPointe, as chair
Yeah.
of the Library Friends,
Yeah.
is going to say some words. Then I'm just going to thank people. We're going to cut the ribbon, and the library is going to officially be open.
Cool.
And we're going to time it so that the ribbon gets cut at 10 when the library opens.
Opens.
Yep.
And people can go inside.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
To apply for a card, you would just go in and apply, or is it something you do online,
yeah,
or can
yeah,
you do it
you're-
online, or?
There was a time you could, with the COVID,
Yep.
but now the easy thing to do is just come right on in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Future trends.
Yes.
What trends do you see shaping the future of libraries, and how are you preparing for these changes? And I ask that because we've heard so many times, oh, libraries are obsolete, or they're going to be obsolete. computers have made them obsolete. You hear the negatives, but what trends are you seeing now that are going to be something that is important or going to happen 2 years from now, let's say?
Yep. You know, it's funny you mention that because I was talking to someone once when I first started going to library school.
Yeah.
And he said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to library school." And he said, "Library school?" It's like, there aren't any libraries anymore. And I said to myself, that's not true.
Yeah.
And that was back in like 2010.
Yep.
And of course, there are still libraries now, but that's besides the point. I think one of the big things is people's access to technology and their comfort level with technology.
Yeah.
And the more things you can do with technology really changes everything. Like,
Yeah.
for example, our DVD collection doesn't grow as much as it has in past years.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there, and we still add to it.
Yep.
But most people, it seems streaming. People, it seems to me, are shifting more towards streaming.
Yeah.
Than to actually, watching
a DVD.
DVDs and all that stuff.
Sure.
And even with music as well. I know they don't even make cars nowadays that can play CDs.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Or even computers taking
Right.
CDs.
They don't take them.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's shift, and people are going to adjust to what the technology is in front of them.
Yep.
Because that's what they're going to grow up, and that's what they're going to get used to.
Exactly.
So that's why offering online databases.
Yep.
Sort of just meeting people where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
If someone wants to use the library, and we say the only way to use the library is to read a book, if that's not where they're at,
Yeah.
then that's not going to. They're never going to come back. Like,
Right.
then the library is nothing. But if the library offers databases and has computers there for them, has a way
Yep.
for them to access the library, that's meeting them where they're at.
Sure.
And then we have a patron that's going to come back.
Yep.
Because there is something there for that person.
Sure.
Yeah.
There is a romance about a library.
It can be,
Those who know, those who get it, know.
Yeah, right. Like the old school library, like the keeper of the knowledge. If you wanted
Yeah.
to know something, you had to talk to the.
Right.
Yeah.
And the high school has cut their library substantially. I believe the elementary school has done the same thing because of space-wise, they've taken it away. So there's not a lot of competition for library space right now. Well, no, I guess not a lot of competition for you, but there is a competition for library space because the children who attend these schools don't have access to the same volume they're going to have. We don't share books. The libraries at the high school doesn't share books with outside companies. At least I don't think they do anymore.
So they are part of the sales
Are they?
consortium, but because they're a school library, they don't get delivery every day
Every
like we
day,
do.
okay.
Yeah, we get delivery every day with the courier service provided by the consortium.
Okay, and that's great. So
And they also don't
if I
get
have
delivery
to wait 24 hours for a
either.
book.
So I mean, like, yeah.
One last question. Feedback from customers.
Yep.
So to speak.
Yep.
What process does somebody have to say, hey, this is great, or you know what, could you do this in the future? I worded it more eloquently than I'm asking you here.
I get the gist of it. Yeah.
Is there an avenue, and what do you do with this feedback?
Yeah. Okay. So the avenue. So our emails, all staff emails, including mine, are on the website.
Okay.
Library phone number is accessible on the website. There's also a generic Dighton Library email that's also on the website.
Yep.
You can also just walk right in and have a face-to-face conversation. In the new library, there will be some staff offices behind locked doors, which I can spend my time in, but I'm going to spend most of my time in the reading room with the fireplace.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Because
me too, sounds like.
Exactly. Yeah, but because it's going to be a great space, and two, like if someone wants to walk, like I want to be visible. You know what I mean? If someone has something to say,
right?
Like this goes back to, I took the job of library director. I didn't just take the position. So the position library director is great, but there's also a job that comes with it, and if that means talking to someone, giving some negative feedback,
sure,
I'm not going to hide behind a locked door.
Right.
I want to meet that person where that person is and say, well, okay, now how do we go from what you perceive as a negative experience? What can we do to get you to a positive one?
Sure.
And likewise, the reverse, which is better. Someone comes in with positive, it's like, great,
Absolutely.
we will just keep doing that.
Yes.
Like I want to, if I'm behind a locked door all the time, I may not get that.
No.
I may not be in touch. I may not have my what's that expression? My finger on the pulse of the community or even the library. So I want to be out. I mean, I just want to make sure that if you want to talk about the library, come talk and talk to me about it, and I'll meet you where you are and do the best that I can to get you what you need. Continue to get you what you need if you're happy. And if you're not happy, we'll
make it happen.
I'll do the best that I can.
Right.
To make it happen.
It's interesting because as a selectman, we get a lot of negative complaints.
Well,
very seldom do you get a phone call saying, "Hey, you guys are doing a great job." It's somebody speeding. I need a stop sign. There's potholes.
That comes with territory.
It comes with the territory. And we have a staff that reacts to everything that somebody sends. So nothing goes unresponsive. And you don't have that staff. So I mean, you have staff, but
right. But I also don't think it's I mean, they have their own responsibilities for the day-to-day course of the library. I feel like any sort of negative, that's something that should fall to me.
Sure.
I know, I have no doubt they can handle it.
Yeah.
Because they really are very, very good, each and every one of them. But I just see that as if a negative complaint.
Yeah.
I think that should be something that I deal with personally.
Yeah. Great.
I can let them deal with the positive all the time.
Oh, sure.
Because they are really what make the library look good.
Right.
They're the ones doing all the face-to-face
Sure.
interaction. So any sort of positive imprint is really a direct result of them.
They're the face of the library.
So they can take all the positive praise they want because they've earned it.
Yeah.
All of it. The negative stuff,
you'll handle.
I will. I see that as my responsibility.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. Other than we're looking forward to the new library.
Yeah, the 20th.
September 20th.
That's great. And 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock is when the ribbon is going to be cut.
Cut at
you want
10.
to come for the ceremonies, get there at 9.
At 9, okay.
Yep, 207 Main Street.
And the buggy ride will be great, and I think the whole thing that you have planned, I know, like I said, you're still in the infancy stage of planning, but it sounds like it's going to be a great time.
But now that we had the date, I don't think it's going to be infancy anymore.
No.
I think it's really going to take off, yeah.
Yeah, so after 10 years of 20 years, 30
long
years
time coming.
Of this thing, not necessarily this building, but a new library coming into town is finally coming.
And I'm happy to be here to see it through. I wasn't there for the beginning or even the middle.
That's all right.
Or even the beginning, but I was here. I'm here now, and I'm happy to see it through.
That's all that matters.
And
we
it's
have
exciting.
you.
Yeah,
that's great. Well, Mark, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
And,
Thanks very much.
Is there anything the Selectmen can do for you? Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
We're here.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yes. Thank you very much.